with our lovely 1010 portal coming up, we have some amazing energies. And as always, with the shifts, different shifts, there are a lot of important moments for those who are 5D mystics. The ones of you who have a relationship with the energy, if you are experiencing it in a 5D way, that means you're expanding who you are as a grown-up. That means you have a relationship with your emotional body and your mental body. So you are growing the ability to be the higher self of you using that prefrontal cortex and, in fact, living relationships minus the drama pretty much automatically. So people who have awareness of the attachment styles and or categories, people who have awareness of what childhood trauma looks like when relating to other people, those are the 5D mystics, functional adults. They're Zen masters, and they are consistently, securely attached within their own body. So the first home and that level of intimacy within your first 3 years of life, you are implicit memory. And so being able to not get stressed in a way that gets you to then do self-soothing mechanisms that involve drugs, alcohol, sex, food in compulsive ways. Basic movies 101 are the good news. The not good news are those who actually disregard their patterns and enter into, in fact, what would be that lower toroidal field that the 4D keeps talking about in ways as if there's some spiritual warfare going on. There's not. But there's groups of people who know that their inner well-being is something they want to tend to, and so they follow good psych education, and they know about the attachment categories and systems, or styles, and the attachment system. Very least they use the good psych education to say, wow, let me go on a healing journey. And then they use their relationships in that same way. Hey, guess what? I have triggers. Hey, guess what? I have flashbacks. Hey, guess what? I don't do codependent type relationships. Very straightforward. In fact, the cancel culture is not the ones who are updated with the good psych education. They are updated with, my diagnoses is what I'm going to list as how you need to treat me versus, no, your diagnoses isn't fixed. The ancient therapists didn't know about the new stuff that other ancient therapists don't like to promote, because apparently emotions don't mean anything. So let's not explore the 3-year-old and allow ourselves to be able and grow compassion. Compassion-based therapy is important, because if you can't actually be proud to be yourself, it means that inside you feel yucky. And that's actually implicit memory. And that's a sensation. And as Patrick Tiahan, childhood trauma survivor and therapist, shares, disgust and or anger and or a lot of different emotions are not what come up in a way that is complete relationship within you, because you will have been used to being treated in certain ways. And so there's this defectiveness shame button. It's called, well, I call it a button. It's not a button. It's a heartbreak, gut wrench, torn apart feeling. So when somebody twitches their nose at being their self and they look up to somebody that's going to be an idol, that's called projecting my idealized parent and or parents, and I'm going to try and either be like you or have you rule everything, and I'm going to enter an identity. So my sense of self is externalized. If you create a sense of self with your 3-year-old, but to get there, that's the part of why it's important, as Bessel van der Kolk points out, to be able and sit with your sensations. But that's the first step. So when I see people in a 4D plane and their lower toroidal field, what I see is their unfinished business. Thank you, Terry Real. They bring it to their marriage. They bring it to their friends. They bring it to their life. They bring drama to the world, and they say it's human suffering forever. And it's because of devils or demons or, the whole spiritual warfare stuff. So they have somewhere to go to, and there's a plenty of creativity out there. And as a mystic, though, I know it's not just creativity. That's the point. So when you look at how the brain works, thank you, neuroscience, Patrick McNamara, he's been studying the brain and he's still studying it. And I know how many people are like, oh, that entity that he's studying for, I'm sure it's part of the group of the reptilian species and the aliens who are going to keep us, into the slavery of mankind because machines are horrible, AI, and I know some people have told me it's not as bad as it looks, Maria, but I see a lot of different influencers in the 4D plane talking about things, so I'm trying to clarify that way. The 5D mystics can come on over here and let's stay grounded, because clairs are awesome. The oversoul is awesome. In fact, twin flame, flames, soulmates, it's all awesome, because we have a relationship with our emotional body. the 5D body type is what I call it, but really it's just the human 101. It's a person who had a good 3 years of life, the first 3 years, and then continued. So the implicit memory of my body, for example, is happy. I love people. Nobody's broken. In fact, the people who think people are broken, they want codependent type relationships. I'm the superhero who's going to go and fix the world. Oh, I need to blame myself because my clairs didn't work right. Everything happened the way that I thought it would in my nightmare. The part about nightmares and the part about clairs and the part of Patrick McNamara and the part about the field of consciousness being a shared field, and then people who want to believe in the stories of a matrix, not a matrix, and all of that is conceptualized. That's why I'm pseudoscience woo-woo lady. I'm okay with that though, because what I do know about the in-between holistic practitioners, so I'm a Reiki master, I'm a tarot reader, I'm an Akashic record reader. What I know about the sphere of energy in a way that doesn't involve let me ditch everything from my past because I'm going to only go do yoga. Love you, Sadhguru, but some of us have more experiences with the oversoul, and it's not a bad thing. But there's to say there's a difference with what 4D does, energy vampires, dark auras, meat eaters. They accuse people of things. They enter into what are codependent type relationships, and they point fingers and they try to fix the world or their partners or people. And nobody needs fixing, but if we need anything, it's more of people who understand you are a human baby body who grew up. You have an embodied brain, and all the little stories that can fill in the blanks, that's great. But if you keep it into the basics and you even bring all of the lovely groups together, they have different opinions. If there's a self, not a self, but they have some aspects that they all in common know, and that's we have an attachment system. The right side of your brain is the first part to be online, the first year of your life, the first 2 years of your life. It's important how you're handled, and no parent does let me cause trauma to my child on purpose, and no parent has unresolved trauma on purpose. So basics mean you look at human beings with the basics, not with the fantasy land of the movies, which instead 4D's all over, because what the inner child loves most of all is to feel special, and to feel special to somebody or someone. And they get into the stories, but really also their mind loves to ruminate and spend time in there. And in here, though, if your self-talk is crappy, well, there you go. And if your outer talk is crappy, there you go again. So you're using crappy thinking because you see humans are broken and evil versus, no, humans are human babies that grow up. And their brain developed according to their environment. So if they have emotional neglect or physical neglect, their brain doesn't get stimulated in areas of pleasure or vitality. And the only way they feel alive is by seeking out the very same habitat that they lived in, not because they want to live unfinished business and traumatic patterns again and again and again. No, they're oblivious to the fact that they're a human baby and to look at their family. Though they know the word karma. You should see them use it erroneously, I might add. So on that note, being able to be lovely Zen masters, it is because of compassion and unconditional love, and knowing we're all human babies when we start life, and none of us, nor do any of our parents or our ancestors, choose to have unresolved trauma. Our fight, flight, fright, and freeze are actually our nervous system's defense mechanisms against what are called animals. And way back when, when we were all in huts, we needed each other. In fact, there's also a social system. We synchronize based on our societal peer group, emotionally speaking. So your attachment system and your social system affect you. And if you don't have true self-confidence and self-worth, which means you're not superior and inferior to anybody, but guess where you're going to have to feel that one? It's called here, and not because of the heart having to be on. No, it's here because when I'm talking to you, if I am a Zen master, it means that I'm going to respect you independently from how you treat me, because I know how to handle my heart body, value body, physical, energetic, and mental, because I chose to be a grown-up, functional adult, emotionally speaking, and to respect another person. And no, I don't walk in your shoes. So no, I don't have your subjective reality or experience. And in fact, I don't have your body. I don't have your feminine. I don't have your masculine. Thank goodness, though, because I see a lot of people insulting each other instead of coming together and understanding and using words and the adult's prefrontal cortex. So here's my subjective experience. Here's how I feel. Here's what happened. Hey, how do we want to get along today? How do we want to realign? So relationships minus the drama. It's very beautiful. Tune in if you want more. Learning how to regulate your own emotional body. That's also something we get to look at. Stay tuned for the masterclass. It's upcoming, and have a wonderful day.